Hello Twin Flames and welcome to Twin Flames Let's Talk. My name's Liz and this is Guided by Angels. So whenever I've got a free slot like this, I always go through the comments and I'm guided to some questions or some comments I really want to address. And today we're going to be talking about a powerful comment that's come in from our soul sister, Lyrical Spirit. And she says, "Hi Liz, I know you've answered this question many times and many ways, but I have to ask again. Why is it usually the masculine who stops us from being in union? If it was up to the feminine, it would never take this long. We know almost immediately that they are the one for us and that the connection is like no other. They seem to have to struggle and deny what's so obvious to us. I know it's about choosing themselves and healing and growth, but it feels like we're at the mercy waiting for them to decide if we are worth it or not." And she says, "Please don't see this as a negative comment. It's really just an observation of the journey. I love my masculine with my whole heart and soul, and I'm grateful for him every day. I'm just having a little struggle with divine timing right now." So first of all, you've answered your own question where you're learning to surrender to divine timing. That's what your masculine is teaching you. Remember, this is more than a relationship. You know, like a standard relationship you see other people having with other people, this relationship is built on soul growth and soul understanding and mission and purpose. And my reply is it's not. Both twins are growing, evolving and healing. And when both twins are ready, union occurs. A lot of the time, divine feminines feel ready, but are still learning to forgive, to surrender and heal deep wounds. Understand that this is a journey of mutual growth. So I'm going to go through this step by step and then I'm going to bring in the Twin Soul Healing Oracle. And I'm also going to bring in some messages from the Masculine Message Tarot as well to help you understand it better, because this just may be on your mind as well. So first, Lyrical is saying, why is it usually the masculine who stops us from being in union? It isn't. Both twins are one. So we feel that the masculine is in a karmic relationship which is blocking the way or in fear or insecurity, but really you are learning from the situation. Okay, you're learning because the masculines aren't blocking things at all. The divine is. In other words, it's happening to bring you together at the right time. God is very aware when and how you come into union. And your journey into union is focusing on the things you can control, not what you can't control. So you feel out of control because you're saying, why is the masculine stopping us from being in union? I know that I want him and nobody else. I know what I want. Why? Why is it taking so long? And really it isn't taking long at all. It's just because your ego is wanting something now that you're being asked to release. You're being reminded that this is so much more than just a physical connection. It's a spiritual connection too. Your masculine, remember, is your greatest teacher and you are theirs. And what our masculine teaches us the most is to let go of control and to allow things to happen in a natural flowing way. In other words, our journey is hard because it's our journey. The masculine's journey is hard because it's their journey. So you're looking at the masculine thinking, why don't you just make a decision? It would be so easy for you to do this or do that because you can see a way out for them, but they need to take that way out themselves. They know you're right most of the time, but they need to take their own action and do it their way. That's how they follow through on their plans, and they give me fear. So a lot of the times they know what they want and how to get it, but they're in fear of taking action. And really what the feminines do is let go of control. So feminines, we're constantly reaching out to our twin, constantly trying to initiate conversation or communication, and fear that if we don't, it will fizzle out or they won't reach out back or they'll forget about us. And it just doesn't happen that way. What we have to do is have the strength to let go and give up the fear of letting go and understanding what letting go means. Letting go is surrender. You can't move on from your twin flame, it's impossible. But what you can do is move on from the struggle and all the worry and fear around it, the timings, the karmic situation, focusing on all the negatives and the things that seem to be in the way. Instead, focus on the blessings and the love. Focus on your life and your goals and your dreams and all the magic around you. Focus on feeling blessed instead of stressed. Focus on feeling alive and enjoying each moment and remembering that you're alive. And the feelings make you remember that you're alive. It's about releasing the struggle. And when you let go and take a step back, you allow the masculines the space, the time, and the room to process things, to move forward. You know, the masculines have to take action to ask for what they want. So when you pull your energy back into you, the masculines are able to step forward. You're their greatest teacher, because when it's easy for them, you know, when you're constantly around or contacting them, they find it very hard to step up. But when you're not around, they have to step up. And you're saying we know almost immediately that they are the one for us and that the connection is like no other. Well, they do too. That's called the firework effect. That's one of the main reasons the masculines run and hide and seal themselves away, because they have to process what that means for them. They have to process the feelings and the emotions and the intensity, because they've never felt this way before. And they're also afraid of making mistakes. They're afraid. And you're saying they seem to have to struggle and deny what's so obvious. And they give me a sneeze coming on. There's a sneeze. Oh, is it coming or going? Okay, I'm just grabbing my deck, the Twin Flames Ascension Oracle, because when a sneeze comes on, we're releasing fear quickly around doing something wrong or making a mistake. So the reason that they drew my attention to a sneeze there in that way is because it may seem to you, Divine Feminine, that they are struggling and denying what's so obvious to us, but the masculines are releasing fear around doing something wrong or making a mistake. You know, they don't want to mess it up with you. They don't want to lose you. And I know it's a strange way of going around it, because it's more likely they lose you by pulling themselves away and blocking you and all these things, but it really is the way they deal with it. The masculines feel pressured a lot of the time by their own self. And that's nothing to do with you or their boss or their karmic partner. It's the way they feel inside. So when they feel that way, they shut down to go within. They also have to learn to know themselves. You're saying, I know it's about choosing themselves and healing and growth, but sometimes it feels like we are at their mercy, waiting for them to decide if we are worth it or not. Well, that really is a journey of self-worth. Okay, it's not about them deciding if we are worth it or not. It's about us deciding that we are worth it. It's about the Divine Feminine working on feeling valuable and working on understanding that nobody compares to us. And we work through jealousy and envy and other lessons along the way. But the masculines have this fear around not being recognised or appreciated because of a silly mistake. And they also know when they make silly mistakes and they go into fear about it. And the angels are reminding them and reminding you there are no mistakes. There are only lessons that lead to blessings. And everything is all right. All is well. So affirm everything is working out beautifully in this moment. So I feel that's come through as a big message whenever you're going into fear around the timings, or you're feeling frustrated, or you feel like you're sitting around waiting. Affirm everything is working out beautifully in this moment. And I don't see that as a negative comment at all. I just see it as something you're struggling with, something you're going through, and you're observing the journey, so you are making sense of it, which is a good thing. You're learning to understand. You're learning to pick it apart piece by piece to understand it. And what you're realising is that you love your masculine more and more with every day that passes, with your whole heart and your whole soul, and you're grateful for him every day. And because of that, you want to spend time with him. You want to be there together. You want to spend as much time loving each other as possible. But there's always lessons being learned. And this is really the answer. Okay, before even bringing any other cards, the masculines have to release fear about doing something wrong or making a mistake. And that could be connected with childhood. You know, if they've made mistakes, maybe the parents have told them off, or maybe something that happened at school has been ingrained in their mind, or they may have been in an abusive relationship, or maybe their karmic partner right now is always telling them they're doing things wrong, and they have fear around that. And they have to work through that themselves, so they start valuing themselves too. Because they want you, but they're a little bit afraid of being with you, because they're afraid of it all falling apart. So what is keeping the masculines back? We've got challenges. Everything you go through has a purpose. Look for the blessing hidden within what challenges you. So these cards have just fell on the floor. I'm just picking them up. So the big message here is, when you feel like you're waiting for your twin, or you feel like things aren't working out, or the struggles around the situation, challenges come up to grow you. So everything you go through has a purpose. All you have to do is look for the blessing hidden within what challenges you. And if you're challenged by the time it's taking, or the time you feel you're waiting around, shine that light bright. Focus on you and what you enjoy, because it's determinism. There is a reason for everything. You're on the right path. Even when it feels like you're on separate roads, you're on the right path. Even when you feel you're going down the wrong road, or they are making the wrong choices or decisions, it will always lead where it's meant to, because all paths lead home. And that's why you get shown the number 717. So the message coming through, the answer to this question is, there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything you go through. It has a purpose. You're on the right path. Look for the blessings instead. And breathe. It's as easy as breathing when you allow it to be. Take some time to calm your mind. So the masculines also have to calm their mind to be able to reach out to you from a place of power and love, not stress or fear. And feminine's the way you get through those moments where you feel challenged, where you're struggling, where you're getting frustrated or angry, is breath work. Breathing through it, allowing yourself to feel calm, going in nature. And also focusing on service, choosing work that satisfies your soul. This is the most rewarding job of all. And sometimes there's masculines dealing with things at work, dealing with pressure at work, dealing with struggle with finances, or the things that stop them from moving forward. So when you focus on things that light you up, you feel rewarded inside and out. And you always receive the reminders, and so do they. Earlier in the day when we did the daily check-in, we got what messages are they receiving in music, and what messages are you receiving in music. And the masculines are receiving the messages to take action, to return. And the feminines are receiving the messages that what you really have to do is face your own self first, to be at peace with where you are, to allow that reunion in. So pay attention to the signs that you see in your physical and your virtual world. That means you may see a sign through social media, a picture. You may see something going on in a film you watch or a show. You may be out and about in your real world and you see a sign. And focus on those that matter. So the masculines just may be focusing on their children. They may be focusing on something going on with a family member right now. And this is reminding you to do the same. A lot of the time on the journey as a divine feminine, we forget to focus on those that matter. Because we're so enthralled and busy and wrapped up in what's going on with our twin, we forget about our loved ones. So remember that family are created by love and effort, not always blood. So this could also be needing to spend time with your friends, needing to go out and do things for you, spending time with yourself. And remember, don't be a victim, be a victor. Whenever we're thinking how bad everything is or blaming our twin for things, we're in victim mentality. And that's not the right energy to be in, because we are warriors on this journey, both masculine and feminine. Be a victor. Your past does not define you. Let it go with love. And this is definitely about the masculines feeling afraid of making a mistake, because they may have been hurt in the past, abused in the past for speaking their truth or, showing love. So remember, hurt people. You are healing and learning to respond with love. So every time there seems to be a block or a delay, you're learning how to respond with love. And all you have to do is clear your mind to receive the guidance, quiet your mind. Clarity comes through silence, and that's why the masculines need so much of it, because they haven't got people they can talk to. They are finding that tribe now. That came up in the masculine reading today. And they are starting to confide in people in their life, but they are most of the time in their own energy. So the clarity comes to them through the silent times. They are always being guided, and so are you. So quiet your mind, feminines, and then you don't get triggered, and never take things personally. You are bigger than any trigger and tougher than any challenge. So release anger by allowing yourself to feel it, and then remember to rise above it and see things from a higher perspective. Because when they are in the silence, it's not because they don't want you, it's because they are processing. And we're all in the school of life because life is a syllabus made up of lessons and truths. So don't get triggered. Don't take it personally if you feel they're choosing the karmic partner or they're not opening up to you or coming forward. It's really about them and not you. And you always have the opportunity to connect with them in the 5D, to connect with them through meditation, through a dream, through telepathy, to allow yourself to let go and feel the power of one's soul. So if you're being triggered, look at why. So let's see what the masculines have got to say about this. From their perspective, why they are quiet or why it takes time. Got one card coming out, Judgment. I am releasing my fears about what other people think to finally put my own needs first and follow my heart. And that's really what you need to know. So the masculines are saying, it's not about you, so don't take it personally. I'm releasing my fears because I'm afraid of what people will think if I leave that karmic partner, if I leave my kids, if I do this by myself. I'm afraid, and I'm starting now to finally put my needs first and follow my heart. You teach me that. You inspire me to be brave like you. You give me the courage I need. Just like Dorothy gave the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and the Lion the direction to change their lives by finding what they needed with the Wizard. I'm off to see the Wizard. So remember, the Yellow Brick Road is the path to union, and really the Emerald City is where you find your future. And you realise that, wow, you're in control after all because you are a warrior. So don't get triggered when they seem to be ignoring you, ghosting you, or doing anything that doesn't involve you, because most of the time their mind is on you, but they're working out what to do. I hope this helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.